You guys like my flying intro? I got to do something to kick it up a notch. That Michael Custro, he's been getting fancy. He's been using a drone. He's got a great channel. If you like any of my videos, you definitely have to check him out. He's got some good stuff. All right, welcome to Kevin's Garage. Today I have a really simple one. I've got to replace the battery. And just because I'm doing it, I figured I'd go ahead and shoot this video. Replacing the battery is pretty simple. It's not that hard, but there are a couple tools you need to have, and you need to know a couple of secrets. So first tool you're going to need is a 10 millimeter something up top, either a socket, a shallow socket, because there's a little bit of a rib to this piece right here. It kind of dips over. I'll show you in a minute. So you need a 10 millimeter for that bolt. And then you need a couple T25s for the wheel well. And you can either, these little ratchet bit tools come in really handy. So, or you could fit a socket piece in there on a ratchet usually, but this is even better. It fits even better than that. Or you can turn the tire to reach in there. But you're going to need a 10 millimeter for here, a T25 for here, and then you're going to need a 13 millimeter for the battery hold down. And then you're going to need some kind of extension to get down there to loosen that bolt. And you can, use a combination of things. I'm using a deep socket here, but if I was using a shallow, you could use a different arrangement. This is a 6-inch extension on a 3/8 drive and a deep 13 millimeter socket. And that's it. Those are all the tools that we're going. Oh, and then we're going to use our Pittsburgh GM battery wrench. Of course, you don't have to have this, but this is nice to have. So the one bolt that I think throws people off the most is this bolt right here that is hidden in between the battery panel and the lower rocker panel here. So if we take a look down here, so if we go to the port injection and just follow the end straight down on the back of this, come down, what you see is right there. There's your bolt right there. You can kind of see there's a little bit of an opening from here to here to slip your wrench in there and turn that bolt right there. And that's how you get the slide, get it loose, just to slide it out, right? And then you push the panel back in on the slider, you reach the wrench back in there and tighten it up. And again, that's the bolt right there on the bottom of the panel. Here on the front of the car. So there's a bolt hidden between these two panels. And the thing about this bolt, if there's anything about this job that you need to know, is you need to just loosen that bolt up, okay? We're not going to remove that bolt. We're just going to loosen it up, maybe 1.5 turns. But, I mean, really, even probably 3/4 of a turn would be enough. And if you're trying to locate it, if you look at the fuel tune port injection, the ON, it's right under the N, okay? And that's where it is between the panels, and I'll clip a picture in here. So what I'm going to do now is loosen that bolt. So first thing we need to do is loosen the bolt under the ON of injection. All right, so I just did about 1.5 turns, and that bolt is loose. Next, I am going to take, this is a T27 or an S2 apparently. T27 or an S2, and just take a couple of these screws out in the wheel well. So our little T27 ratchet and 3 T27 bolts. That's it. Put those right here. And lastly, we are going to take out our T10 bolt up on top to get, and that's how we'll remove the panel. Obviously, if you had some kind of a ratchet wrench, which I do in there, I just don't feel like digging it out. So we're just going to do this way. All right, so this is just a 10mm bolt in the top right corner of the panel. Put that there. 10mm ratchet here. Now, this panel does not come off, right? This bolt is out. This 10mm bolt is out. These three T25s are out. And this 10mm bolt that's in between the panels is loosened 1.5 turns. Now this panel is just going to slide out. And that's it. Slides out a little bit. And next, we just take our little, you can use a 5/16 ratchet, you know, or just use one of these. Remove the negative. I'm actually going to stop for a second, and we're going to take our 13mm and loosen up our battery hold down. You don't have to remove it. You can just loosen it up and then tighten it back up, but I'm just going to go ahead and pull it out. And there it is, access to the battery. We're going to take our other positive terminal off. And out comes the battery. Slide in our new battery. Beautiful. Perfect. Put our lockdown back in place. And oh, by the way, I think a full-size ratchet would have actually been a better tool for this job. It would have been easier to reach the handle, but oh well, this one got the job done. We'll put our battery terminals back on here. So one thing I would recommend is while you're in here, replace these terminal posts, okay? You can get these at the parts store for like $3.99. I just replaced these last year, so I'm not going to replace them. But if you just take something, a box wrench or something, all you got to do is just tap it out. It's really easy, okay? A little bigger of a wrench might be nice. Just tap it out, tap the old one out, and then just push the new one in. It's not that hard. It free floats in there. There is a little bit of a rubber boot on it. The other thing I like about these replacement terminals, you can see in the picture here, the threads are just a little bit longer on the replacement terminals, but they're not too long. And it just gives you a little extra space to play with and a little extra security to know that that screw is not going to get stripped out. I like them a lot. Definitely replace these terminals if you haven't. Reconnect our negative terminal. And the job is really done now. All we have to do is just put the panel back on, which just involves tipping it back up. You kind of lift this side a little bit over this bolt on the right, top right corner. I like to put that one back in first. And then just take your T25s and just put them back in finger tight for now. We want to keep this panel a little loose. Don't go full tight on it. Don't go hitting it with the gorilla strength yet. Not yet. And of course, as always, do yourself a favor and wear gloves. Because as you can see, my hands are dirty. So I have to clean my hands now because I couldn't take 3 seconds to put a pair of gloves on. It's the Kevin Garage way. All right, so let's tighten this other. Now, when you tighten this other bolt up, it is on a slide, okay? So now remember, like I said, this 10mm, I just kept a little loose. These T25s are a little bit loose. I'm going to look in here, and I'm going to make sure that this is pushed all the way in. And this is the slide here that I'm talking about. It's kind of hard to get the camera to stay focused on it. Okay, you can see the metal piece is actually part of the car, and you can see the head of the screw to the left. I'll put a little arrow on it, and you can see the panel sliding. So just loosen that 10mm bolt up and make sure that you have the panel pushed all the way in. If it's out a little bit like this, the door will kind of rub it. Don't ask me how I know. A friend told me that he did it like that, and it made this annoying squeak for 3 months before he got his act together and fixed it. So you just push the panel back in, make sure that it's all the way in like that, and this is the little clip down at the bottom of the panel. All right, so I gave you the little ride along. We made sure that our clip was pushed all the way in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the letters to line it up. The very back line of this air vent right here is also a way to find this bolt. And I'm just doing this in the blind. I'm not even looking. Just tighten it up the last bit. Now we're going to pop up here to this one, and I'm going to make sure the top of the panel is aligned. And I like to tighten this one second. And then grab my T25, put it to tighten, and tighten these three up. And there it is. The battery is completely replaced. This is a job that if you have the right tools, which is a 10mm for this top right bolt, and it's nice to have a 5/16 little ratchet wrench, battery ratchet wrench, and then a 13mm socket, and then you're going to need some kind of extension to get down in there. Now, if you were in a pinch and you had a 13mm combination wrench, you could probably reach in there and get that bolt just loose enough. It's just going to take longer. And then you're going to need a T27. I think a T25 would get it done. I think you could squeeze a T29 in there, but this is a T-bit here. You're going to need those three, and that's it. That's all the tools that you need right here. And job's done. Putting the battery in should take about 5 minutes, maybe 8 if you're going really slow. What's up? Hey, it's Mama Kevin's Garage. Yeah, there's the people. What's going on? So what time you want to do dinner? All right, so it's 3:30, 4:30. I want to say eat at 4:45. Does that work? All right, sounds good. I'll be in the house then. I love you. All right, bye. All right, dinner at 4:45. It's a win. All right, so that's how you replace the battery on a C4 Corvette. It is the same for 84 through 96. I had a 93 and 89 and now two 85s. It is the same for all of them. Hope you guys are enjoying the channel. If you like the video, hit thumbs up. If you think you'd like to see more, hit subscribe. I've been trying to do a lot more with the playlist. I know the subscriptions have been coming up and up and up. Like I said, I've been trying to do more with the playlist. So there's a playlist just for this car. If you're interested in this car, it's just the video on this car and the work I've done on this car. Obviously, this will be in that folder. But there's also a folder for like C4 general maintenance with things like replacing the batteries or just different things on the car. There's a folder for the SS Camaro and a review on that car that I put in there. We might be taking that to the track soon and run the 1/4 mile with it. That would be kind of fun. And we might even get the silver bullet down there and see what this silver fox turns in for a 1/4 mile time. That'd be fun. There's videos in there about detailing. There is a playlist for detailing. So there's different playlists on the channel for different things. I just detailed out the Explorer, but you know, those techniques for detailing apply to every car. Everything I did on the Explorer, I would have done to this car if this car's paint was in that condition. So again, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you think you'd like to see some more. And we'll see you next time on Kevin's Garage.